Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Ashley and I'm gardening in Zone 6B on 2 separate properties. The garden is finally producing, and today we're going to be able to harvest a bunch of tomatoes, peppers, and a few other things. I don't live on this property, so I am harvesting any tomatoes that are blushing, and they can just ripen on my counter because otherwise I will not get to them in time. And what I mean by blushing is that they have started to ripen and turn colors. That could be either a yellow or orange. The weeds have fully taken over, but I'm just trying to pull a few as I go. I just got this harvest apron, and I'm not sure what the brand is, but I'm absolutely loving it. It can hold so much. It's very hands-off and easy to walk around with all your vegetables, or whatever you're harvesting. I'm taking off some diseased leaves as I go. This tomato has blossom and root, so I'm just going to toss that one. I've been waiting on these tomatoes because they are pretty big. I would like to have them just ripen on the vine, but they're already starting to split, and we have a lot of rain in the forecast, so I'm just going to pull those as well. I decided to just take one, and I'll come back for the others in a few days. These poblano peppers are looking great. They're a little small. I'm not going to harvest them just yet. They all look good. And this one a bug got into and it started to rot, so I'm just going to toss that. These other poblanos are looking great too. Now moving on to the jalapenos, I accidentally broke off that top branch, but I'll take that little pepper anyways. And these are also jalapenos. I'm not sure why some of them are black and other ones are not. They are from the same seed packet. I'm just gathering all these jalapenos now as they ripen and then putting them in the crisper jar in my fridge. These should store for at least 2 weeks while I harvest the rest. And then I plan to make some pickled jalapenos and some salsa. The roof is looking great. That's the only one I have so far. So I have some sad news here. It looks like we were visited by the squash vine borer. Oh, it's prickly. And all my plants in the squash family are pretty much dead. So I have to make a decision on whether or not I'm just going to take these off the vines, which I might as well at this point, I think. This one is still surviving, fruit is still ripening. I'll have to take a closer look at the stem if I can to see if it has damage. It looks like it does too. I don't know if you can see it in there. That one I'm going to leave. Might have enough time to fully ripen before the plant dies. Looks like it still has a lot of life left to it. These guys though, I'm just going to go ahead and pull. I'm going to take as much of the stem as I can with it. Honestly, for now. Oop. Oops. Oh yeah, look at that. It's a pretty big squash though. This one I'm pretty confident will ripen with no problem. I don't think any of these are going to store long, but we'll see what we can do. We're just going to chop off a good chunk of that and leave most of this on the plant. I'm going to probably leave most of this on the plant or on the squash to help ripen it. I went back and I decided that I was going to take those ones off the plant because they are the only ones that looks like the vine borer didn't get fully to their stem yet, and it did start to get to the plant over there. So I harvested all of them, the smaller ones like this. I'm just going to ripen that inside if I can and just feed that to my chickens. Probably that one as well because that's a little small. These guys I'm going to try to save for us to eat. There's a few more small ones I might pull. I'll take you back after I get these all home and cleaned up, and we'll see what we got. There it is right there. I have a couple ripe tomatoes here too. I just got back from my dad's house, from our garden over there, and the squash needs to be dealt with. What I'm doing here is kind of gross, but I have to pick out all the vine borers so they don't go further into the squash. If I were to leave them in there, they would just continue to eat the squash. And that's not what I want. And there's one right there, that little black dot. That's its face. I'm going to try to dig him out without squishing him in there or cutting him. I couldn't get him out, and he already destroyed the stem anyway, so I'm just going to cut off the stem. And as you can see, he burrowed his way all the way through the stem, hopefully not into the squash. I'm going to try to store this anyways. I don't think it's going to store long. Now I'm going to continue to do this with the rest of the squash. Thinking back, I probably should have chopped and dropped all of this at my dad's house while I was there, and probably set it on fire to kill the vine borers so they don't come back next year. But I did not have any knives or anything to do that with at the moment. But it is what it is, and I'm just going to feed these vines to my chickens and let them eat the bugs out of them. And any of them that I take out, I'm just going to squish. This one looks pretty good, so I'm just going to cut off the tip and see if they got in there. I don't think they did. They did not, so I think this one has the best chance of storage if it ripens fully out in the sun. I'm going to finish wrapping this up, and then I will bring you back when it's all done. The vine borers have gotten all the way through this squash, so I'm going to cut this open for the chickens, and we will check the development of this. Not bad. Definitely not fully ripened. Fully developed. It's not fully developed. Not many seeds in here, but my chickens will eat this. This one looks like my most ripe one. Let's see if we can salvage it. Nope, that one looks fine. This one just has a little bit more ripening to do, and the stem needs to dry out, and that one will be ready for the pantry. This is what we ended up with. Not the best harvest, but it is a harvest. Very grateful for 6 squash that we can possibly eat. And then one is going to go to the chickens, which isn't a complete waste. And I'm going to see if they can eat those leaves too. I'm not sure. Probably not, but maybe I'll give it to them to, if it's not poisonous, to let them pick the bugs out for me. Just pull one of these carrots out to do a little check to see how big they're getting. And wow, I was not expecting that just yet. These guys definitely need some water, but it's going to storm tonight, so I'm not going to water them. Although this may not be huge, it's definitely the biggest carrot I have ever grown. Picked a little bunch for the kids to snack on. If you notice I'm holding these weird, it's because I'm holding my baby in my arms. So are the fun. It's like they're getting beaten up by something. These plants are on their way out, and then we'll do a fall planting. Pull these plants in a few days. Start onion. Just feed these to the chickens. So I'm gonna get off that one. I'll come in here and harvest all these herbs. These are my toothache plants. I'm only gonna grab the flowers today. I already did a big toothache tincture, so these I'm just going to dehydrate. Pick some chamomile. I harvest from this daily, so there's not much ahead of time. Grab. That's what we got for chamomile. Overall, not a bad harvest at all for all the gardens. I could probably take some cabbage, but I'm not going to today. Actually, I got some more chamomile here. Next round of cabbage I get, I'm probably gonna ferment some coleslaw, or not coleslaw, ferment some sauerkraut. I'm not gonna do that right now, so I'm not gonna harvest those right now. Oh, here's some more chamomile. I'll bring you guys in to show you the full harvest. That's all for now. I will say I'm loving this harvest apron though, and it holds so much. Not a bad harvest at all, and we have that spaghetti squash outside too. I did separate the fully ripe ones from the partially ripe ones. These ones I will cut a slit in the bottom, like an X on the bottom, and then I'll take the tops off and I will put those in the freezer to preserve them until I can make a batch of sauce or salsa out of them when I have enough. These ones I'm going to let ripen together on the countertop, and then I will do the same with those. These bigger ones I will cut out the core and the slit parts. I'll cut that out and put an X on the bottom of those as well, and pop those in the freezer until we're ready to make sauce. I'm going to show you the pasta squash again real quick, and then that is all for today. Have a blessed day.